Hi, and welcome to Lisa Brown, Stamp with Lisa Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is my Savvy Sunday. I wanted to take opportunity to share with you that Stampin' Up! Is doing a designer series paper sale the month of October 2020. It's good for the entire month, and there is a whole entire list of paper that is on sale. So we're going to do some quick, fun, easy cards showing you just about the majority of the designer series paper that is included in the sale. There's a few that I don't have or I did not include in this fun project. So I will get to that in one moment. And then I also wanted to show you, there's this great stamp set called Massive Thanks. All kinds of different fonts and verses, but all saying thank you in one way or another. So we're going to use this, and I'm using this massive thank you on all of my projects. Another thing that we're going to feature is the detailed band dies, and I feel like these band dies kind of get lost in the shuffle with all the great dies Stampin' Up! Has. So I wanted to feature these. And these are found in the annual catalog. Okay, so we're going to start out first showing the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. What all of our designer series paper is so pretty. I'm not going to go one by one because you can look them up at my shop, stampwithlisabrown.stampinup.net. So I'll just flip through the pages just to give you an idea of what the paper pack looks like. Okay. So in these cards, I've actually did this card a long time ago, probably a year ago. And it's just a great way to show off both sides of a designer series paper. And also, I feel like you can maximize your solid cardstock. So I started out with a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. So it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then you can take your designer series paper and cut it 4 inches. So you would get 3 strips. So it's 4 inches by 10.5. And when you're doing this, you just want to make sure, because as you'll see, so we're just going to fold this in half. Let me show you. When you're picking out your designer series paper, you just want to make sure and watch the patterns of both sides so that they're going in the right direction. Now this one's not cut down yet, so I just took a 12. So this one's actually 12 inches long, so we need to cut this down, and I left that on purpose to show you. You can pre-cut that piece, or you can cut it afterwards and you'll get 2 little strips. So I'm just going to cut this down to 5 1/4 folded. And give it a cut. And our trimmer cuts through both pages. Now I have these 2 decorative strips left over, and I will show you what I'll do with that in a second. Okay. So my pattern for this paper did not matter because it's going in any direction. So I can just go ahead and adhere this down with my snail adhesive. I'm sorry, I said snail. I meant seal. I keep calling it snail. We had snail adhesive for so long. Okay, so I'm adhering that down with our seal, and then that mats just like a standard card front, except your card is going to open like this, and now you get to display that beautiful designer series paper on both sides. I took a piece of Very Vanilla and I stamped my massive thank you, and this is 5 by 3 1/4. Oops, there we go. and we're going to put this on the inside. And that 5 by 3 1/4 gives us a nice border on the inside. Now the strips that I cut off, I can actually mount them on the inside if I want to carry that pattern over. And I think we're going to do that. And I didn't cut them down. Let's see here. They need to be 3 1/4 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in my paper trimmer. 3 1/4, and just cut off that little bit at the end. And we'll adhere these down. And that way you're not really wasting anything but that little tail end that we cut off. We're going to put that, I think I'm going to leave a little border in there too. Oop. Okay. Then what I did was I cut a very vanilla band from those detailed band dies. And we're going to adhere this to the front. I think we'll do it right about here. Okay. And then that way, we're going to put this detailed band that I've already cut in soft suede, just to make it stand out a little bit. So I'm going to put some adhesive on this side. And we're going to put some adhesive on this side. And then after I put these on, we can just cut off the extra amount right here. Okay. Look how cute that is. And then you can go ahead and embellish this with some gems if you would like. Why don't we go ahead and embellish this with some gems? I have the Wonderful Gems that is out now in the August through December 2020 mini catalog. We have these ones here that are kind of like an off-white color. So let's put a couple of those on. Seeing as our card is very vanilla based. Oh my goodness, that's really stuck on the paper. All right, there we go. And oh, I think I want a gem there. And a gem up here. And we'll put some of the small ones down on the sides. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my gems are flying everywhere. I think we'll put that one right there. We can put this one over here. It gives it a little bling too. Okay. Okay, so that's card number 1, and that's done with the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. The next one that we're going to do is the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. And again, we'll just kind of flip through this real quick. You can see all the different patterns. And again, you can check them out on my store, stampwithlisabrown.stampinup.net. Okay. And again, we're just going to fold this in half. We're going to adhere this back side. And our card base is Old Olive. Here's our filler piece for the inside. We can go ahead and put that in. Okay, now for this one, I used a different detailed band, and I think I want that right in the center. So I need some adhesive going across the middle and just on the very, very end here. Oop. Okay. Included in those detailed dies is an oval die cut. So I die cut an oval out of old olive. We're going to go ahead and put that down. I just wanted a little color behind there. And then let me grab my dimensionals. Sorry about my arm there. And we're going to put this oval down with some dimensionals. And I'm actually going to ever so slightly offset that, just so that little bit of that old olive in the background peeks out. Cut off our ends. I must not have got any glue back there. Okay. And then I have another piece of designer series paper that I cut from this, and we can actually glue this on the inside across the bottom, carrying that theme on the inside. Okay, again, that is the Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper. Next, we have Trimming the Town. And this is a fun set of paper. This is available in a bundle. And they have, actually, all of these papers so far that I've shown are in bundles in the holiday catalog. And this is just real fun houses and wreaths. And these have all kinds of words that you can cut up and use. Some little people, more houses, just real fun scenery. This would make great paper for memory keeping as well. So I took the tree. Now this is an example of a card that you would have to be careful with your direction on. So if I wanted to use the polka dot side, if I put this in, one of the patterns may or may not be upside down. So, but I'm going to use the trees. And on the inside is going to be the polka dots. Okay, on this detail band here, when you die cut it out, it has the center portion of that die. And in this instance, I'm just going to place and glue that die back down in there. I wanted to keep that color back there. And then we're going to dimensional on our massive big thanks. Okay, there's card number 3. Okay, let's keep a pile going here. All right. The next paper that we have is the 12 tidings, and this was one of my favorites from last Christmas season, and they decided to carry it over. And this is a unique paper. It's very antique looking, old age, so it's on the green side, it's very vanilla backed. And actually both sides are very vanilla, but what's interesting about this paper is one side is all green and the other side is all red, real red. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But it was still a real big favorite of mine. And I was pleased that they decided to carry it over and bring it back for the season. So for this one, I have used a garden green base. Now I'm going to layer it with, so the garden green is a standard base. It's 5.5 by 4 1/4. Now I have a piece of real red that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I took the banner die and cut it out of there so that I was saving some paper and not having to use up. I mean, I have plenty of scraps, but if there's plenty of work surface here, then why not use it? So we're just going to run our adhesive on the back here. I'm going to secure it in the middle too. Okay. So that just gives us a real fine border all the way around our card. Okay. And then this is still cut 4 inches by 10.5. And we're just going to fold that over. And again, I chose a pattern for this one where it doesn't matter which direction it's going. For this card, I just wanted simplicity, so I used this banner die, and I chose not to put any words on the inside, or excuse me, on the outside again, but just a real pretty, fun, elegant paper. I love that. Okay, the next we have what's been a real favorite this year is the Forever Greenery paper. So you can see I've used quite a bit of it. I got some partial pieces here. And this is what I've done with this one. So again, I'm using a garden green base. I took one of the banner dies and I cut it out of my center paper, and I'm going to go ahead and put this together. This time I took the center part here that die cut and I kept it, and I found that my massive thank you does fit on there, and I took a sponge dauber and just kind of colored the edges a little bit. Okay, and that's the Forever Greenery. I do have an extra piece over here, so if I want to cut that down and add that to the inside, I can do that. So I'm going to lay that in there for later. Next is probably one of my favorites out of the current fall catalog, and it's the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. All kinds of fun patterns and colors, and just really great color wash. This is Pool Party and Native Navy and Pacific Point, some Highland Heather in there. So I chose this pattern here. And we're going to do it. And actually what I did was they also carried over a 6x6 pack. Now this is not included in the sale, but I wanted to try it because it has some great foils. But this paper is so great. It's a feels like frost 6x6 specialty designer series paper. And what is cool about this, they have these great real photos on one side, and on the other side everything is foil. Every piece of paper has foil on it. So that's a must and a must have. So here I chose Pool Party, and here's a piece of that, feels like frost. And I again die cut my banner die out of the center. So let's go ahead and get this together. Okay, this is probably one of my favorites. I just love the silver foil on that, and that Splendor, that Snowflake Splendor designer series paper is really, really pretty. So the next we have a fun one. It's the Playful Pets designer series paper. And there's cats and dogs and dog dishes and all kinds of fun little things going on in there. And I thought, why not? Why can't that could be a thank you card as well. So this one, same thing, card base, real red, designer series paper, and a little banner. And let's put that together. Very cute, very cute. And if we wanted to embellish this a little bit, we could go to that same wonderful gems and add some, why not? We can add some sparkle to our pets. So we'll add a couple of those on there. Okay, oops. I left my sticky on my sheet. Okay, there we go. And there is our Playful Pets. Okay, next. Oh, this paper is so beautiful. It's so fun and colorful. It's called Artistry Blooms Designer Series paper, and it's just bold, fun color and patterns. I've played with this a couple of times. Just really, really fun paper. Okay, so this one I did with melon, mambo, and mango melody. And I did do 2 layers. So melon mambo is our base, and then mango melody is our matte layer. And you can see that I did die cut out the banner out of that. And let's put this all together. Okay, and that is Artistry Blooms. Isn't that fun colors? I love it. And what is a great surprise when you open it up and you have these blues and purples that come out. So just another fun one. Okay, this is probably another favorite of mine. This is actually Magic in the Night designer series paper. And in the fall catalog, it's geared around Halloween, but there's a beautiful black and white rose pattern. I just fell in love with that. And there's several patterns that you can use, and you can mask them so that they're not for Halloween. So that's what we're going to do today. is we're going to mask this, and you're not even going to know that it's Halloween paper. So again, this is Magic in the Night. Okay, so on the inside of this paper, when you open it, it has bats, and obviously we don't want to have bats, so I've cut 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock, and they're 3 3/4 by 5, and we're just going to cover both sides, and you're barely, it covers up the majority of those bats, and you will barely be able to tell that they're even there. So that way I still have that, I can use that paper, which makes me super happy, and not have it a Halloween theme. And you can always add extra stamping up here, extra words. And I saved a strip of that designer series paper, and we're going to put this down at the bottom. Like so. Okay. So there is a massive thank you made with Magic in the Night. And we're coming down to the last 2. This has been a extremely popular set. This is the Peony Garden designer series paper. Again, very elegant, very subtle petal pinks and gray granites. So just a beautiful, beautiful set. And what I did was I chose this kind of like gray toned paper, and it worked out great because both sides were the same, and then I paired it with Rococo Rose. So we're just gonna go ahead and fold our paper in half and get this put together. Okay, there's from the Peony Garden. This is another favorite of mine. Isn't that pretty? And again, that way you're seeing and using both sides of your designer series paper. Okay, so the last set of designer series paper that is included in the sale is the In Good Taste DSP. And this is the one, it's all like tile and flooring and bricks on one side, and on the other side is canvas and fabrics. Here's some canvas, here's some fabric. Just real fun, subtle hints of some color, and then most of it, this has some blue in it, but most of it is just all neutral colors. Makes great backgrounds. Okay, so this one I've chosen to do Rococo Rose again, because when I'm cutting these, so this card and then this card is normally what I use for one card. So as I was cutting, I thought, well, why don't I get 2 out of the Rococo Rose? And then I did some champagne foil sheets and cut the banner die out of that. When I'm cutting my foils, and if my cutting plates are well used, which they normally are, I usually like to lay a piece of plastic over my foil paper, or just a thin piece of copier paper, just trying to reduce as many wrinkles that I get in my foil. I don't know if you can see. If I have several wrinkles. Here's a good one right there. So I try to help reduce that. This one I decided to use the planks, and then on the inside it's going to show the tiles. Okay, and we're done. So, like I was saying, we have a sale going on right now off of our designer series paper. And I was showing you how you could take any one of our designer series paper and use it for general cards. And I've chosen to make all of mine thank you cards. And then I love this card style because it shows off both sides of your designer series paper. Okay, so I have chosen, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have shown you 11 of the designer series paper packs that are included in the sale. What I have not shown you is Whale of a Time, Playing with Patterns, Plaid Tidings, which is a 6x6 paper pack, and Tis the Season, which is a 6x6 paper pack. So please check out Stamp with Lisa Brown .stampinup.net for the sale and the full list of all the designer series paper that is on sale. Have a great night and join me next Sunday for my next Savvy Sunday.